Inspire with Nendrix, the foundation.
Hey, Embracing Arms community, this is Dr. Danielle Harrison coming back to you with another 5-minute quickie for your best life. Doing a lot of my recordings from home because I am home for the next couple weeks, just kind of recovering and getting myself together. But I was having a couple conversations over the weekend, and I'm slowing down. I'm just kind of relaxing and reflecting, and as I typically try to do as much as possible, but more so now because I'm forced to slow down. But having a couple conversations with some close friends and new friends and my children, just about the power of good energy going in and energy coming and how it attracts energy. And, I had been sharing with the Facebook, the Embracing Arms community over the past couple of weeks about my journey in storytelling. And so probably back in September or so, I started getting a little serious about the way I was telling stories about my life and sharing them, and some of the struggles that I had with telling those stories, because it was coming from such a vulnerable place. A couple of years ago, I shared a story, some lessons learned from the storytelling of my mother, and that opened up like a lot of wounds, and but it was refreshing to be able to have that conversation, and so I'm doing more storytelling, more sharing thoughts and reflection. And so, I had an opportunity to do it again in December, and it was great. And so I'm just at a place now where, I'm so much more comfortable telling the stories of my life and telling the stories of my parents' lives and, some of the journeys that I've been through. And one of the things that I think is a common thread in some of the stories that I've heard my mom share, my dad share, and that I've shared is this power of good energy, right? Like, despite everything that my mother and my father kind of went through, they always try to find ways to put out good energy. And it didn't matter what was happening in their lives. And as young people, we didn't really know the depth and the pains that our parents were going through because, good or bad, they were keeping a lot of that, from us because they wanted us to have a normal child life without carrying the burden of bearing the pain of our parents. And so I thank them for that. Because that would have been really difficult for a young person to have to bear the burden of carrying a parent's pain and struggle and stress. And while there are some parents that do share some of the pains and struggles and stress that they're going through, and it doesn't mean that their child did not grow up to be, productive citizens. But some kids just can't handle that, right? And so what I found was a common thread in those stories is their ability to find the good, the small slither of good in their lives so that they can function, so that they can be the parents that they, always wanted to be, and so that they could, be thriving individuals in their workplace so that, they can love and be loved and, receive the kind of energy that they wanted to, that they were putting out. And so I say to you that, I have a lot of friends that are going through some trials and tribulations and some challenges every single day. And it feels like it's never going to let up. It feels like it's just constant, like, it's just a heavy load of bricks that you're dragging, and it's just not going to let up. And I want you to just reflect on your life trajectory, your life journey, and all of the other trials and challenges that you've had in your past, and realize that you made it to 2022. And kicking and fighting, we know this, but you made it to 2022. And you were being challenged in spaces where you felt like you just felt like you would never get out of 1999 or 2012 or 2016. You could, it was so overwhelming. You just can't even imagine how I can get out of it so I can make it to 2020, but you are at 2022. And so I want to say to you that whatever you're going through, you're going to get on the other side of it, and continue to put out as much good energy as you possibly can, because I firmly believe that the energy that you put out is going to mirror the type of energy that comes back to you. We all have our journeys, and it may not happen today or tomorrow or next week. We have our journeys, and your only control is how you show up. How you show up and how you respond to some of the challenges and the journey that you are going through. And so just remember that, good energy out, good energy in, and you only can control you and how you respond to your challenges. So that's just my 5-minute quickie today. Go out in the community and embrace someone. They're waiting on you, and continue to live your absolute best life.
Words leave her mother's mouth. Rain is too loud, barely hear what she is fussing about. Peek through the curtain, sees her brothers bleeding from his mouth. She sees herself as Rapunzel, but without the interest to lead his house.
We're chillin', having our fun.